it looked like you were going to put your gloves down, but then you didn't, and you put them back on. What does that mean?
I don't know. I don't know.
Oh, what's your story? Don't you dare be sour. Clap for Stephanie and feel the power.
I wouldn't have married my wife if she was like a Georgia Tech fan. I mean, you're done.
It's like you're just done.
You screwed it all
The
up.
conversation doesn't even start.
Yeah. Oh, what team? Oh, out of here.
She's out.
My son is dating a girl, and because she thought it looked cute, she literally had on a Georgia Tech sweat.
Oh.
And I was like, "Hey, Maggie." She goes, "Was that strike two?" And I was like, "Mm-hmm. You got strike two."
Yeah, exactly.
I forget what strike one was.
Sinister
at the two.
things. Yeah.
Yeah.
What happens after 3 strikes?
I don't know.
You're out.
Okay, Avery, I've seen red flags. Man, she's not good for you, bud.
So how old were you when you moved from North Carolina to
Oh,
Florida?
I was a baby.
You were, okay.
Florida. Did you hear that, guys? The mistake that
I'm
everybody
sorry,
makes.
I did that.
Because
Gainesville,
I'm not a
Georgia.
Gator.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Georgia, I'm trying
Man,
to-
we're starting off bad.
We start over?
I'm trying to, make something.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Deshaun Watson.
She only did that
Gotta
because you
screw
didn't
things
know
up.
about Massachusetts. She's
Yeah,
trying
it's
to make
kind
it
of my
level.
Actually, there we go.
All right.
Or even
You're a good friend.
Thank you. I told you she's great at
Yeah,
everything.
you
She
did.
is.
You did.
just trying to make
Thank
feel
you.
better.
Thanks, Elise. Appreciate it.
Yeah, Gainesville, Georgia. I was just a baby, so
Okay,
I
because
don't remember.
my grandmother lived in Jacksonville, North Carolina,
Yep.
and I used to go to the base there at Camp Lejeune.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because her second husband was a vet.
Did you drink the water? Because that wasn't good.
May
Shouldn't
have
Yeah.
during those times.
My mom did.
It might
which
explain
means
a
I
lot.
drank it.
Yeah. So you grew up in Georgia, and where did you grow up? Like in what kind of environment?
So, trailer park kid, parents had job. Both of my parents had a job, but they just weren't very good jobs. And the older I've gotten, I've realized they are terrible, 1,000% terrible with money. They never, either they were stingy with it or didn't know how to use it, or I don't know what it was, but they had no idea how to make it work for them.
I think that's actually a failure of the education system.
I agree.
Because you're not taught how to manage money at all. You're not taught about making money. You learn math, but you don't learn how to use actual applied math.
Or show us how to fill out tax
Right.
paperwork.
Yeah.
Right, for
And what you're going to be expected to do. Because when
Yeah.
you graduate high school, you graduate at 18. A lot of people don't go on to school. They go to work.
Yeah, my parents didn't finish high school.
Yeah,
They went
or
back
you
and got
get your
their
GED. Yeah.
And so, but still, if you don't know how to manage your money, you don't know how to write a check. That stuff can come back to bite you in the butt. People can take advantage of you. All that stuff can happen. So I'm assuming that's what happened to them. They just were terrible with money, and maybe we could have had a place because the welfare came by our house. I was like, yes, we're going to get food.
Right.
And they were like, "Oh, your parents make too much money." I'm like, "This is terrible." We had
Really?
my mom and dad had 4 boys. We ate a lot.
Yeah.
So by a lot, I mean of mayonnaise sandwiches because that's all there were. There wasn't a lot to eat there. But it is what it is. It made me who I am. I'm okay with that.
So I agree with that. I think that hard times shape our character. And I've also, my dad grew up in a trailer park.
He told me.
Yeah. And he said he didn't know what was worse, the outhouse in the summer or the winter, because he didn't have any indoor plumbing at firt.
Gotta be summer.
And then he said he moved, summer for many reasons, but winter, you're very, very cold.
I mean, you got to pee in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
Holy crap. And it's cold.
Yeah, and especially as we get older, right?
Oh, man.
It's terrible.
Yeah. You're so sleepy, you don't even know where you're going. You end up in the woods. You're like,
Wanders out.
where is the outhouse?
Coyote.
I was gonna say, forget being pregnant.
Oh,
Oh my God.
yeah. See?
Well, and how
Now
about,
it sounds real terrible, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it really does. God bless those women.
Yeah, for real.
Damn.
Yeah, he told me that he grew up in the trailer park. He told
Yeah.
me, or at least in a trailer. So I was like, oh, how about that?
Yeah.
You know, we have something in common.
Yeah.
You know, which was a good thing. Maybe he's like, all right, let me help this redneck out. You know, I know what it's like. You know,
I think for sure, you know, I think he can relate, you know, and I think not a lot of people have that success story, you know, and are able, and I mean, you as well, like not a lot of people are able to come from that environment where the odds are just so stacked against you, right? And rise above it and somehow reach, you know, a different place. And I often hear that, you know, people who have, like you, who have gone through that, the part of the drive and the motivation is because you never, ever, ever want to go back. Because you
And-
know what that's like.
Oh man, that is the scariest thing. Even now, this sounds bad to say, but like I don't want to live paycheck to paycheck.
Right.
You know, and that frightens me to get to that point where like, oh, whoa, whoa, you know, like we have to budget all this and do that and do it perfectly, and that's kind of scary.
Right.
So to go back to that, I'm not. I'll
Right.
find a way to do something to make sure that we'll never be like that again. But you know what? The crazy thing is, and me and my friend have talked about this before, that you try so hard to never go back to that, you spoil your kids all at the same time.
Yeah.
You
They
know,
don't
it's
learn
like,
the same
dang it.
lessons.
Yeah.
No, they don't. You know, it's hard to learn those lessons, because mom and dad are going to be able to get it for you,
Right.
You know?
And you are so proud
Of
to
course,
be in that position to be able to do that, to provide for them so that they don't have to go through that.
right.
But then how do you teach them gratitude and work ethic and everything else?
I don't know. That's a good one. Sometimes it's just going, hey man, no.
Yeah.
This is one of mine. Hey dude, you know that credit card that is mine that I'm paying for that you have? That's for you, not your friends, to take them out to dinner. So stop spending my money on
Yeah.
all your friends.
Yeah.
You know, I'm glad that they're able to do it and some,
Yeah,
you
I
know,
know,
be able to
since-
take care of their friends if they need to. But at the same time, I'm like,
Don't abuse
spend
it.
your money, dude.
You're
Yeah,
not trying to
You
take
got
care of the
Christmas
friends.
money, spend that.
Right?
So,
So at what age is the right age for them to get a job?
I think if they're not playing sports or extra activities after school that's keeping them busy, you get a job.
Yep, I'm the same way.
So they go, oh no, Dad, I'm working. I'm doing this. I'm playing this. I'm like, yeah, huh? Okay, you can still go to work.
Yeah.
They mom takes care of them. Oh well, they're really doing school and they're doing a lot of homework. And whatever, bag some groceries at Kroger or something. You know,
Right?
My youngest bags groceries. She's checkout girl.
there's
yeah.
nothing wrong with that.
No,
it's a
it's
honest
great.
work, and they get to talk to people, and I think it's good for them.
I think it is too.
Well,
Does
and they
does your-
make a little money for themselves, right?
Yeah,
That's
no,
right.
like,
and
hey,
she's saving.
Hey, how about you pay for your gas?
Well,
you know, that kind of
she's,
thing.
she's so smart though. So she's saving, but yet she still only spends her gift cards
It's smart.
that she gets at Christmas. Yeah, or she works me.
She's
into-
working you.
Yeah, most of the time she's working me. Yeah. I do fall for it though a
Well,
lot,
listen.
but she does have her job and she is saving her money.
I don't
so.
think it's fair for you and Hunter to go through 3 girls because listen, if I had 3 girls, they get anything they want. I got one. I'm like, you know what? You're not getting that. Do you want it?
Do you really want- how bad do you
yeah,
want it?
come here, yeah. So yeah,
It
I
is.
feel for you
It
guys.
is. It is tough. They know how to push those
Yeah,
buttons.
boys, you're like, hey, nah, dog, get over there, shut up. Oh,
I have a boy and a girl, and I can see it already. My husband's like, not yelling at my son, but like, don't get away from your sister, whatever it is. And then he's like,
yeah.
oh, come here. I'm like, so I go to the boy. Like, he's my boy, and that's his girl, you know? Like,
Yeah, that's a
I
real
was-
thing. Yeah.
Listen, it's very different.
Yeah,
The way
like,
I treat
I
treated my
see it.
sons to my daughter. Oh man, I would throw them around the house. I don't care.
Yeah, my brother would say the same thing.
I mean, I don't play around with them.
He would.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to show them like some tough kind of love. They got to we're not raising boys, we're raising men, right?
Yeah.
So I have to be a little bit harder on them than I would my daughter. You know, my job is to protect her until she finds a man to protect her.
My mom always told me it is your father's job to let me think of how she said it. It's your father's job to raise Shane to be a man, and it's my job to raise you to be a woman.
It sounds about right.
Yeah. And she had no problem being strict.
I feel like she did great.
Yeah.
Right?
Linda
Shut up,
laid the
Linda.
law down.
I've said this many times. Your mom's going to spank you. It ain't going to be me. I'm not doing
Oh,
it. No way.
I'm like, your dad's gonna spank you.
Yeah.
100%.
So it's funny you say that because I was always on the road, have been for 27 years. So there were some days, I'd get the call like so-and-so is doing this. You got to come home and discipline them. Okay. I get home. I shut the door. What are you doing, man?
Yeah.
All right, listen, I'm gonna act like I'm gonna hit the belt on the bed a couple times. You just stay in here and act like you're crying because I don't feel like whooping you today. Okay? Okay. Boom. That happened more than once.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
They've cut me some slack over the years. They've been a little bit easier on Dad, but we've had some moments where they were just like that. I'm like, look, dude, would you stop?
I wonder how they really felt. Because you were so honest with them and they could see how tired you were, right?
I think so.
And how hard you were working. And it's like, I wonder what their perspective was as kids.
I'm going to get them in here one day. I'm like, all right, bud,
Yeah.
tell me
Just
what
like
you were thinking.
The patience that
Dad,
you
I thought you were going to
showed.
kill me.
Yeah, for sure. Right. Yeah.
But like the patience in that moment of like, let's just talk for a second. Like
Yeah.
sometimes it's,
Yeah. Sometimes you overcompensate the other way, right? Human nature, I mean.
Right. But
But
it's easier now. I've told them several times as they're growing up. It's like, listen, you're not going to understand until you have kids, or you're not going to understand until you get a little bit older. And sure enough,
Yeah.
they've come to me like, Dad, you're right. Dad, you're right. Everything you said was right. When they've had a broken heart, you had the hardest thing was for him to tell me I was right, probably. But it was, it's like, son, I didn't want to be right. It's just, we could see it.
Yeah.
So
We
At least
had
you had somebody to talk to.
a similar situation. There was a bad apple that was influencing one of our daughters, and we kept making her aware of it, and then eventually it blew up into a situation. She got caught up in a bad deal, and we had that conversation. We said we didn't. It doesn't make us feel good to say we told you so, right?
Yeah.
But this is what we were trying to tell you, that if you kept hanging out with her, that eventually something, we didn't know what, but eventually something was going to happen, and now it has.
yeah,
And how do you feel about it? And she felt awful about it. And I said, and how does your friend feel about it? She goes, oh, actually, she didn't really care. I was like, right.
that's what we're trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like that. It is.
But they have to learn their own lessons,
They do.
and that's one of the hardest parts, I think, of being a parent.
I always say that either you can learn from your parents' mistakes or follow in their footsteps. I prefer to learn from their mistakes, and then sometimes, I get it. I had to learn things on my own too. I hated to admit that my dad was right. But I'm glad he was. At
Yeah.
least I knew he loved me. He was trying to make sure I wasn't doing too many stupid things. It was all out of love.
Yeah. As long as you come from that.
Yeah, I mean, you've heard the saying, I'm sure, that there's only one man on this planet that wants you to be better than him, and that's your dad. Like, I want my kids to be,
If you've got a good dad.
well, yeah, if you got a good dad.
There-
Yeah. I guess not all dads are like that.
Not all
I'd like
dads
to think
are
I'm
created
one of them,
equal.
but then
Yeah.
again, I've had my moments. But, I wanted them to be as successful as they possibly could be, and I want to be able to say I'm proud of you and cheer for them all the way through.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what it's
I've
all
never
about.
heard that expression before. I love it. And it's true, right? Like, I want my kids to be bigger, stronger, smarter, faster. Like, that's evolution, right? And I cheer for my girls. I mean, I wasn't ready for it at 5 when my youngest surpassed my intellect, but
Yeah, right.
it happened fast, much faster than I anticipated. But it's that is what you want. And yeah, from the male perspective, that's really interesting.
It's, because we're in competition with everybody else,
Yeah.
trying to do better and be better. And at the same time, I'm one of those guys that doesn't want to compare myself to someone else, but we're in competition to get to the next level. I'm not going to stab you in the back to get there, but I'm going to outwork you.
Yeah.
And to be able to hopefully show my kids that it can be done. It may not come when you want it,
Right.
but eventually it will be there.
If you work hard enough for it
If
and you
work hard
don't
enough.
give up.
Somebody's going to slip up. Somebody's going to get hurt. Something's going to happen. You got to be ready to step up.
Yeah. When preparation meets opportunity. Oh, man. Right?
Heck yes.
Hell yeah.
I will make the best out of every opportunity you give me. Just as long as you give me an opportunity, I'll make the best out of it.
This message is sponsored by Raycon. With the Super Bowl and the Winter Olympics this month, there's no better time to get inspired, push harder, and upgrade your workout routine. When you're training consistently, the right gear makes all the difference. I've been using Raycon's Everyday Earbuds Classic, and they've completely changed how I work out.
Raycon's Everyday Earbuds Classic is packed with upgrades. They've got active noise cancellation, multi-point connectivity, so you can pair with 2 devices at once, and a super comfortable ergonomic design that stays put no matter what you're doing.
And here's the kicker. Raycon delivers the same premium audio quality as the big brands, but at half the price. Add in over 3 million happy customers and a 30-day happiness guarantee, and there's zero reason to overpay. The Everyday Earbuds Classic are here to help you go for gold. Go to buyraycon.com/WYS to get 15% off. Thanks, Raycon, for sponsoring. What's one of the opportunities you've had to fight the hardest for?
Wow. That's a tough one. That's really tough. You know what? I remember the opportunity to wrestle for WCW. And they didn't like the way my partner.
And you were what, like how many 5 months in or something?
Yeah.
It's in like
I worked at
the genre.
I was signed with WCW for a total of 5 months. And I was the happiest camper you ever saw. Like I was with WCW. It was a big deal. But they had me and my partner wear fighter pilot suits.
oh, well, that makes sense.
Yeah, it was terrible.
I mean, you were born in North Carolina, so
I mean, that's a
First in
Marine base,
flight.
not an
the
Air
state
Force
is
base.
first in flight.
like
Come
they're
on.
all-
I don't know. All I know
right? Like,
is that what they were having is this get up
The
that we
Wright
had to
brothers?
wear. Yeah, whatever that suit was they gave me to wear, it was going up my butt. So that's all I can remember.
So it was uncomfortable.
But I was like, man, you know what? They're going to get the best fighter pilot they've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
You know what?
Fighter
And I
pilot with a
wear the
wedgie.
glasses, the aviator glasses and stuff like that.
Were you, Top Gun?
It's
that's
exactly,
exactly
what
what
we were.
I was picturing.
That's exactly what we were. We
Yeah.
were,
I mean, that's not a bad gimmick at the time.
I mean,
It's a gimmick.
it was a
You
gimmick.
couldn't relate to it.
We're talking about
That's the problem.
what 2001, I think it was.
So how'd you fight for the opportunity?
Well, so WCW offered me a deal, like a developmental deal to go to the power plant, $500 a week, and I was like, oh no, I'm making that at my regular job, and then, since I'm an independent contractor, they'll take out more taxes, and I was like, I can barely pay for anything now. Then I'd have to drive it to Atlanta. I was like, this ain't gonna work, and I had to turn down the opportunity to be able to,
But that was WWE, right?
No, that was WCW.
Oh, I thought
I did it twice.
Oh, okay,
twice.
because the same amount of money.
Well, yes.
That's interesting.
Yep. And so I just couldn't afford to live like that. So
You turned down WCW and WWE.
listen, it wasn't easy.
Wow.
I know it sounds like it was.
And it worked
not.
out, right?
But and then you went on to
Well, I'll tell you this, and then they offered me again a couple months later. Instead of $500, it was $800. I was like, oh yes,
all right.
here we go.
There
And I
we
didn't
go.
have to go to the power plant. I went straight to
Oh,
WCW where I was.
so you were negotiating and you didn't realize it.
I didn't realize it.
Yeah.
I guess they just needed some guys to beat up on, and I will be that guy.
Yeah.
So, but it was, the opportunity that was hard, like to say no to, and,
Right.
$500, but just WCW, that was hard. That was really difficult. And
That's such perspective.
think about WCW and then getting offered by WWE and having to turn that down. That was even harder.
Yeah.
The biggest wrestling company in the world, and I had to turn them down. I've told this story before. I got offered $500 a week to move to Cincinnati. My wife is in college, chasing her dream to be a school teacher, and I was like, I can't move to Cincinnati. I can't leave her. Like my job is to take care of her. So I was
I've
like,
heard you say that.
it's just it was hard to swallow.
Yeah.
And she even told me like you can go. I'm like,
Because she's been with you since day one.
we started dating in '96,
Wow.
and so that's over 30 years that
Yeah.
we've been together.
Yeah, and you said your date nights were, going to the indie shows.
Oh yeah, that was
As one
terrible.
does.
I mean,
I mean,
she had to love me because those were
did
terrible.
she fall in love with wrestling?
No,
No, she never did.
no, not at all.
Oh,
not at all. She
no.
never liked it. But she went
To this
with
day?
Me. Yeah, I don't think she really liked it. I mean, she'll watch it, but she gets caught up in like it's weird that she knows, but she's like, I don't like him. I'm like, he is playing a character. You would love him. He's a great guy. So
Well, then she does like it.
maybe
If
she
she's
does.
getting hooked.
Maybe she does.
Yeah.
So
I mean, if
At
not,
least a little.
that's a
it's got to be a little bit.
damn good partner.
Right? Yeah.
She is.
That's
I
true.
mean,
That's
to-
true too.
I,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I hit the jackpot. Like she is the sweetest person I've ever met, and I don't know how I tricked her into dating me. So because I didn't do well the first couple times I tried to date her. I didn't.
Oh yeah,
I
tell
screwed that
tell
one up.
these stories. I think this was your biggest opportunity, AJ.
Yeah. Well, so I broke up with this girl that I dated for 2 years. And it was a terrible mess. And I was one. That guy that argued with his girlfriend every morning in school, like in homeroom.
With the
That was
locker.
me.
Yeah.
So I look like a turd.
Not a good relationship.
Yeah, I look
Yeah.
like the biggest turd in high school. But then I was like, hey, I called her and I was like, oh God, I hate telling this story. This is gonna make me look really, really bad.
You win her in the end. You win.
I win.
You
I
win.
So I was like, I'm gonna call up Wendy, and I always thought she was cute. I played football with both her brothers, so I knew of her. I didn't know her well, but I know she was really cute. So I called her. I said, hey, we should hang out. She goes, okay, like I'll give it a shot, I guess. And I was like, all right. Well, and then
Here we go.
Oh no.
like an idiot, I called her from her friend's house. I went back to her friend's house the next day. Did something I shouldn't have done with her friend, and her friend went and told everybody.
Oh,
So yeah, we
Dummy.
didn't ever go out on that date.
Dummy.
Yeah, real idiot.
ooh,
I-
wow. And you
I wish I could go
win
back.
her in the end anyway.
I wish I could tell you that was the only time I did something stupid. Yeah.
Similar?
Yeah, so I was like, hey, you know what? Wendy, you should definitely come to one of my wrestling matches. This is now, we're in November, December. And she didn't say whether or not she was coming. I just invited her. I also invited another girl.
I knew.
So
I was gonna say,
Oh,
who
no,
else did you
you
invite?
invite your best-
I knew it was
Yeah.
going there.
You didn't think they both show up.
yeah, they did. They both showed up. So, yep, ruined it again.
Were they sitting next to each other?
No, but I think she goes on to tell the story. She saw me kiss her.
Oof.
You can't.
Yeah. I don't know. Listen, I'm not the smartest kid. Make
I'm getting
mistakes,
that right
man.
now.
Then I straightened up and basically got on
So
the
how
knee.
did you ultimately
I
win
begged
her?
I begged her to go out.
How
on that one.
long after that moment?
Probably it was. I can tell you, it was January. I had to start working on her from January to February 14th.
That's
It
not
took
that
me
long.
a whole month. I'm going to her homeroom every morning. She never looked for me. I had to go to her homeroom.
That's right.
Every morning, and talk to her and say nice things and sweet things in her ear, so that she'd give me another opportunity. And sure enough,
And did she say twice?
she
2 strikes.
she should have. she certainly could have. But yeah, the great thing about it is where her brothers liked me and her dad liked me. So
Did she
it
have
made
her
it
eye
easy.
on you?
I don't think so.
No, you don't think
I don't.
ever?
No.
She didn't see you with her brothers or anything?
No.
No?
No chance.
And her homeroom teacher is not like, get
Yeah,
out of
hey,
here.
kid.
No,
Every
well,
The
well,
teacher
no.
liked you too.
Yeah, I think I was a likable guy. I just
Everybody's in on
I
her.
just made a lot of mistakes, So
Yeah, my husband would say, because sometimes he's counseling our daughters with guys, and he's like, yeah, honey, he's a teenage boy. He's stupid. No offense to teenage boys. Just you make
Most
some
of us are
mistakes.
stupid,
You
yeah.
make some mistakes.
most
Yeah,
of us are stupid.
you learn, right?
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to be like my older brother, who, guess what, was stupid. So
Teenage boy.
I made some mistakes. I didn't be like him.
Well,
Wait, but so then Valentine's Day?
oh,
Valentine's
yes.
Day. That's right. Well, I said, hey, everybody's asking for a date, and we should probably just make it official. And yeah, we did. So
Oh,
I think the next week we went on a date to Burger King where she paid because I didn't have any money. Junior Whoppers for all.
was that what you got?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't pay for it. I didn't have any money. I didn't have a car. I didn't have nothing.
Well, you were a real winner.
I did, I did something
Likeable.
right.
Twice.
Yeah.
Likeable.
And then, oh, I'm sorry. I cursed. I know you don't curse.
What, did
What
you
did you
just
say?
curse?
I did. I said, fucked up.
Oh,
Oh, you did?
I didn't
Yeah.
even hear it. I'm
I
sorry.
said
I
it
meant
kind
to
of fast.
repeat
And
it.
then I was like, oh.
Oh, well.
I mean, I know you've obviously.
Well, listen, you put me in the right situations. I'll drop some F-bombs.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Hey, but listen, you know I'm mad though, or something's really bothering me.
If you actually
if
use
the one comes out,
language.
and it's
Okay.
got to be up there. So
Yeah.
Right.
And that's saying something in our business.
yeah, well, I mean,
Particularly when you're putting a match together, I found
Oh,
the most
man.
colorful language.
then I'll effing go in over here and I'll effing do that and I'll effing do
Everything's
this.
an F.
Oh yeah, everything is. Yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
Noun, verb, adjective.
Yeah.
It's everything.
There's been times I go, how many F-bombs can you drop?
It's almost like you can't. Well, but you've proved otherwise. You can
Well,
put a match together.
So
without.
yeah, but mine's like, look, I'm gonna freaking go over here. And then when you freaking come over here, like,
Yes,
so
the same
everybody who knows me, they're like, he
Freaking.
says freak a lot.
He says freak.
He's freaking freak. Yeah. So it's all the same, I think.
Valentine's Day is coming, and whether you're doing something big or keeping it low key, the best gift you can give is showing up as the best version of yourself.
That's where Game Day Men's Health comes in. They offer premium, in-person men's health care focused on optimizing testosterone, energy, focus, and overall performance with real testing, face-to-face visits, and personalized treatment plans. No long waits, no online guesswork.
If you've been feeling tired, foggy, or just not quite like yourself, this is your sign to get checked. Book your free in-clinic consultation at GameDayMen'sHealth.com and start feeling like yourself again, just in time for Valentine's Day. Well, I happen to have a message from your wife,
Oh,
if I may read it.
okay.
And I won't look at you while I read it, so it won't be weird. Okay?
Okay.
Because these are her words.
All right.
To my loving husband, whom I call Alan, and the world calls the phenomenal AJ Styles. Growing up, who knew I would marry a wrestler? Sure, I would watch wrestling with my grandmother, but I never had a desire to marry one. Well, we paid for our small wedding with money made by your short stint in the WCW when you started chasing this dream. You always told me to trust you, that you would make it. Never once did you doubt yourself. As your bride, I trusted you and even encouraged you to go when the WWE came knocking very early in your career. I believe that required you to move to Cincinnati. I was in college at the time. As a young married couple, you refused. You chose me. Even when I was pushing you to go, you politely declined the offer. You always said we would do this together and not apart. Together we have. You have traveled the world wrestling and conquered what many only dream of accomplishing. You have put God and your family first in this business. I truly believe God opened every door and allowed not just you, but our family to walk through them. For that, I am eternally grateful. You wanted to beat the house. Well, you did. A phenomenal career. 4 amazing and individually gifted kids, and a loving, always supportive wife who has stood beside you the entire time. You won. Come home. The phenomenal times are just beginning. I love you, babe.
That's really good. That's stupid. That's stupid.
No, it's
Oh, good. I snorted and
beautiful.
everything.
It's beautiful.
Well, I mean, she's my biggest fan, you know, like
Clearly.
totally supported me, even going to indie shows and how bad those sucked. So
So what would you say to her?
I am
That you
nothing.
feel comfortable
I am
sharing.
nothing without her. I would have nothing without her. Like everything I've done and the decisions I've made are based on us. And because of those decisions, I think I was blessed because of it. If I hadn't have turned down, WWE at the time, well, I believe HWA was in Cincinnati that was a developmental area. And within like 6 months or something like that, it went out. WWE stopped using them, and I would have went out with them. So because I put her first, I didn't have to go through that. And even though I didn't get to WWE until years later, I still got here. I was at TNA for 11 years, went to Japan for a couple years, and then came here. But all that was for a reason. I don't think it was by mistake at all. I think everything happens for a reason. And the timing was perfect for when I came. I wouldn't have made it any other time. I don't think I would have survived. I don't think I would have been well when it comes to being ribbed backstage or something like that. You got a dumb redneck kid that'll fight you, and then I'll get fired. So, but we didn't have to go through that when I got here. Actually, I was pretty respected by the time I got to the WWE.
Yeah.
So I'm thankful for everything that we went through, and we went through it together. And there's been ups and downs, and it's been hard times and lonely times. So for us to still be together after all these years and everything that we've been through, I think that says a lot about how we feel about each other. And I feel like you read that to try to see if you can make me cry.
No.
Because you did.
I think it's beautiful, and I think love is so beautiful, especially true love, and the devotion that you have for one another, and to want to put her first and your family first. How did you come from being that dumb kid, who screwed up twice, and marry this woman who you adore and know that you were always, no matter what, going to put her first?
How do you answer that? It's just the way it's supposed to be. That's the way it is. My job is to take care of her. She's my wife.
And who taught you that? Because it didn't sound like you learned that growing up by example. Or did you?
No, I mean, I guess I knew my dad loved me, and I knew he loved his mom. He just had some stuff that he was dealing with that we had no idea, and that it destroyed his marriage and him to an extent. And, but I mean, being a grown man now, I understand that. But I wasn't letting it. My example is my faith and what I believe. I'm a Christian. I believe in Jesus. I believe he died for my sins. And I know that love conquers all. And when her and I got married, we are now one. We're not separate. We're one. My job is to take care of her, to love her as Christ loved the church. And I can tell you, we are the church, and he loves us more than you can ever know. And that's how I feel about my wife. I love her. She's the most special person. This sucks.
No. Can I tell you how much this is going to mean to her to watch this? Oh, it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful.
Just as long as she knows I love you, especially she loves that I love her, especially when those times come and I really piss her off, because nobody can piss her off like me. I can tell you that right
Well, it's
now.
because she loves you.
That's what
I'm gonna kill this
do
guy.
that.
She gets when she gets fired up. That little thing. She's only 4'10", and
Oh
she's
my
like
goodness.
a ball of fire, man.
Yeah,
She's like,
is she
can you
quick,
calm down?
quick-tempered?
No, she's not. But once she gets there,
Then
it's
it's
go
boiling.
time. Dog, just
Yeah.
don't mess with her, guys. Leave her alone. The only people she cusses at is our kids. She doesn't cuss either. She doesn't.
They do that to
Hey,
you.
can you stop calling them like
When
she's
you
like-
have four
She
of
doesn't,
them,
she doesn't
there's
call
a
them
lot.
like big names, but she has to let them know that she's serious. Like she'll,
Right.
get your ass over. Whoa,
Whoa,
Mom's that.
yeah.
So
She's
but
serious.
yeah, it's not like she's dropping some bombs, but I'm like, but I'm just like, hey, can you just calm down a little bit?
You maybe need to walk around the house.
Yeah, just, I gotta get out of here. So
Those teenage boys.
we've taken our toll on mom in the Styles household with a bunch of guys, and then two little women, you know, and then sometimes my daughter's on our side, so just everybody is mom. Yeah,
Yeah,
That's not fair.
rough.
yeah, it's not.
Mom's alone.
It's not.
Yeah, mommy's holding down the fort while you're gone, and then you come back and they all side with you.
You know what the crazy thing is? I'll tell you this.
I would lose it.
So, and you know, WWE has changed so much since I first started. You know, it was 5 days a week when I first got here, and it was tough.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's been like that for a long time. But now,
And before that, it was even worse.
yeah, it was even worse.
Yeah.
That's
Weeks.
probably why so many guys and, you know, got a divorce back then because it
Yeah,
was so
for sure.
tough. It's
And the technology didn't exist.
Right.
Like, it was a lot harder to stay in touch.
it's
No FaceTime, you know.
it's a lonely road.
You
out
miss
there.
a lot.
Yeah.
You know, then when my son was being born, I had to go do an indie in Hawaii.
Oh.
Sounds awesome. In Hawaii,
Yeah.
I was the most miserable man on that island,
I bet.
you know, because I wanted to be home with my son. You know, he was a newborn, you know, I just couldn't wait to be there. So, but being gone
And
so
how
much.
strong your wife is
Oh, dude.
that she had these babies without you there.
I cut every umbilical cord, though. I never missed it.
Really?
You were there. Okay.
I was there for their births, every one of them.
Oh, you did make it.
Yeah, I was
Oh,
there.
so she was just in labor.
But no, she was never in labor, never. I was somehow always there
Okay.
at the time. But being gone, literally right after,
Oh.
Yeah.
you know, that was tough. And for her to raise them. So what I realized after now the schedule not even being close to as difficult as it was, I had made her put my kids first because I wasn't there. So now I'm home. I'm like, hey, here I am. Hey, give me some
Yep.
attention. She ain't got time. You know, she's out.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
She dedicated all her time to those kids, and so it was hard to get used to being
Things
home.
changed,
Like,
yeah.
hey, I want to be
Daddy's
important.
home.
Yeah. So I put that on her. You know, that was difficult times right there. I mean, it's getting better now, but you know, that was the thing that we got to realize as men, as wrestlers, is that sometimes we've forced our wives into a place where they have to put the kids first. That's not how it's supposed to be. I don't think my kids should come before me, and my kids shouldn't come before my wife. That's not. We are one. Not we can make more of you. You know? So they shouldn't come between us. But you know, it was my fault that she had to put them first. She had to take care of them. It was just them.
Yeah.
You know.
So how's it going to be when you're home now?
I don't know.
Do you think you're going to earn the spot?
I don't.
How's
It's a
it
possibility.
going to feel being number 5?
Yeah, I got to make my way back to number one. I don't know how to do that, but I'm assuming that, you know, we get up and we go for a walk in the morning, have some brunch, talk about things we don't get to talk about, make her mad, and you know, work out together, stuff like that we didn't get to do. I think it's gonna be fun.
Sounds great.
It does. It does. And she's ready for it.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so. She's definitely ready for me to come home. You know, but you know,
And you've been gone almost the whole time, right?
yeah.
So you're gonna have a little adjustment period.
I know. There were times when I would go home and I would screw everything up.
Oh.
I was like, well, they're not supposed to be up past this time. I didn't know. I just wanted to hang out with them, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah. No, I know. I definitely kept the kids up late. Elise and I would talk about this all the time because I'd leave the office so late. And I was like, well, I'm sorry, but you got to keep them up a little longer. I'm talking to the nanny, you know, like mommy's on her way home. Mommy's on her way home just so I could have 5 minutes, you know, before they went to bed. Just read them a story, just hold them, you know. It's not easy.
That's the sacrifice, though.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people don't understand because they only hear the funny stories and stuff that we
Right.
have on the road. We don't tell them the bad ones. We don't want to think about it, so we don't tell anybody that. We just tell them the funny stuff. But there's some sacrifice that goes on where you're missing a lot of birthdays, a lot of daddy-daughter dances,
Yeah. Performances,
performances,
school
football
plays.
games.
Yeah,
I've called my
games.
son from Japan to like he got hurt. I said, you know, and had he was like one of the main kids on the team, and they were in the national champion. They were in the championship game, and you know, I had to coach him back into the game. And they ended up winning, you know, with a lot of his help. But that's, you know, some things that I missed out on. I loved watching them
But you
play
were still
sports.
there for him.
Well,
when he needed you?
I'd like to think so. But
Yeah.
there's times where, I'm sure there was times where little boys were running their, hugging their dads after the big game, and mine wasn't there, or his wasn't there. So, but mom was,
Yeah.
mom was always there. I remember, he made a run, and we're talking about little pee-wee football where
Yeah, but it's a big
his,
deal.
his
Yeah.
his helmet's bigger than his body,
The shoulder pads.
and I hear the story about my little 4'10" wife. He makes the scoring touchdown with no time in the game left, and scores a touchdown. She jumps over a fence and runs on. It's like, oh, I wish that could have been me, So,
How cute.
but I will say this: so my wife texted me this. This was like maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago, and my daughter said to my wife, "Everybody thinks that I am lucky because I have AJ Styles as my dad. But they're the lucky ones because their dad gets to come home."
Oh, and now you do.
And now I'm going to the daddy-daughter dance.
When is it?
The 11th.
Oh, awesome.
I'm going to be there with my little khaki pants, and we're going to have a couple dances. Then me and the dads are going to sit and talk together, and then we may have a couple dances with our daughters, and then the daughters will have fun without us.
They mostly dance with their friends.
Yeah, oh yeah. Yeah, that does.
And nor would you want to be a part of it sometimes.
Yeah, I'll
Pure
go in there and
energy.
give her a couple twirls, when it's the big daddy. But a lot of times it's just me and the dads going, talking about eating some banana pudding or something.
Yeah, no, Paul's been. I just actually, because my oldest is going to be, this year she'll be 20. My middle will be 18 and my baby will be 16. And so they're done with their daddy-daughter dances. And I just put together this whole wall. It wraps all the way down our staircase, and it's the Princess Ball. That's what they called it.
Oh, okay.
So it's the daddy-daughter dance pictures, and it's like key moments, and it's in chronological order, and it's
That's
like
awesome.
just
cool.
finished this project with this guy that I work with who's just amazing, but really tells the story.
Our kids are the same age. 20, mine's 20, 18, and 16. The boys are.
How old's your
Then
daughter?
She's 11. She was the sweetest surprise that I've ever got.
I'm like, wait, 16?
Yeah.
5 years?
Yeah, my wife had an IUD in.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
shit.
so
Yeah.
it really wasn't supposed
Sorry.
to happen.
So, it was
not
meant
good.
to
Well, it
happen.
was,
It was meant to
but
happen. We just
unexpected.
We weren't
Yes,
trying to make it
yes.
happen. It was
Yeah.
just meant to happen.
Yes.
Yeah. She that just goes to show you she's not one in a million. She's one in whatever billions of billions of billions.
Yeah.
Because you got to think what it is like for us to be born in the first place, right?
right?
It's crazy, and then she was able to find a way to get through an IUD. I don't know.
That was my
Right?
reaction. I'm like,
Which was in there
those are supposed to
perfectly. It
be-
was 99.9% effective.
That's why I
for some guys, I guess. So
Some guys are special,
yeah, some guys don't know. They don't have what it takes. I guess
They don't give up.
yeah, that's right.
That's right.
It's definitely in their blood. That's right. So yeah, it's listen. I've told my boys like she is my favorite.
Sorry,
so
it's
you
just
know,
the way
just
it
so you
is.
guys know. She tells me she loves me for no reason. I'll take that all day long.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's not for no reason.
Well, I mean, I guess not, but
Yeah.
I didn't do anything.
And
that
she
tells
is
me.
lucky she has AJ Styles as her dad.
Well, I'd like to think so, but I guess it makes it easier when I'm home and she's able to see him, right?
And you will be.
I will be.
And she wants you home.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine it could have been worse, right? She doesn't want you to come
Yeah,
home.
she'd be,
Daddy.
she could be like my boys.
16 maybe,
You know,
yeah.
that'd
I don't know. Those teen
be like,
years
hey
might be.
guys. All right.
What's up, Dad?
Yeah. They're like, oh, his dad's home.
Is there, like, do you hug and kiss your sons?
So if I ever leave and they're home, I will. Everybody gets a kiss and a hug before I leave. I will never leave without doing that because you never know
You
what
never
can
know.
happen.
It's true.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's been many a times, and as they gotten older, right, I go in there and kind of just squeeze them, and you're like, hey, come here. Like there's some old man, come here, bro, and they'll give me the hug. So that's I actually love that when they do that. It makes me feel good.
Mm, And they haven't reached a point where they're like, Dad, I can't kiss you anymore.
We kind of stopped the kissing.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah.
like if they're asleep and it's kind of hard to put my hands on them, I'll give them a little kiss on the forehead or something.
Yeah, I
like that.
remember my dad saying that about my brother.
Yeah, well, there was a time where I used
Yeah.
to love snuggling to the boys. I'm like, "Here, boy, let me snuggle you up," you know.
Yeah.
And I sometimes I just go and like see what they're doing, and we be in their bed, and I would just snuggle it up, you know.
Yeah.
And then there was one time I was like, "Wait a second, I'm like, you're like a man." I was like, this is weird. So I got up got in the bed with my other son. I was like, oh man, this guy, it's weird.
This grown ass man in my bed.
Yeah. It wasn't cool.
In your race car twin bed.
I was totally picturing like the kiddie bed, and he's like, "Wait a minute."
Well, my oldest son, we got a new bed. He wanted our bed, the big king size bed. So, we had plenty of room. But this guy would sleep with so many blankets. I would go to wake him up for school. I'm like, where the frick is he? I'm looking under the blankets trying to find him.
12 layers deep.
He got mad at me one time, and I went to pick him up like at night. He got mad at me. I forgot. Made him go to bed, and I go to get him up for school. Couldn't find him. I was like, where the frick? I'm lifting all the blankets. Where is he? Where the frick is he? Is he in the bed? Did he get in my bed? I don't know. And I'm looking for him. This turd went to sleep under his bed.
Oh my goodness.
Put his pillow and a blanket under the bed and slept under it.
Was he scared?
I guess not. He went right to sleep.
I feel like it's the reverse of being scared.
Yeah, I went to wake him up. He's under the bed. So
That's really.
But why? I mean, what is that decision to go to sleep under the bed?
You're just
don't
like
know.
really mad.
yeah, he was really
I think
mad.
that's like a stubborn.
Yeah, he was really
right?
mad.
So that was defiant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sleep on top
Dad's
of him.
gonna wake me up, and I'm not gonna be there, and he's gonna be so sad.
And then he falls asleep and forgets.
But he fell asleep. I don't think he meant to.
Oh, okay.
It's
I
like,
thought it was like pillow and blanket under there.
He did, but I don't. There's no way he thought I'm gonna
No, that's-
sleep under here, right?
I
What
think
kid
he
does
did.
that?
How old was he?
Probably like 7, 8.
Yeah, totally. He could have.
Maybe he did. I'll
I
have
used
ask
to
him.
love forts and closets, and we had a fold out sofa that you could actually. It was probably a little dangerous, but you could fold up in it in a way that there was like a space.
So you put
Do you
you
know
back
what I'm
into the
talking
couch.
I know
about?
exactly
Those,
what
like-
you're talking about.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So
All right, let's put this couch up.
So you went back
I
into your
loved
couch.
hiding under that space. Yeah, no one would find you.
Oh man. Yeah.
But I could have gone to sleep there for sure.
See, I
Yeah,
don't know.
I
My
can see
son
that.
is 6, and he's definitely not. He's coming running to our room.
No, like I'm
Like,
the
right now we're
safest there.
Oh yeah. No, we made a big mistake with my first son. We had him in the bassinet, beside the bed when he was little. But I found myself waking up, like laying over the bassinet, because I was just worried that what if he stops breathing?
Yeah, you're
So I
looking
put
for
him in
the-
the bed with us.
No,
Oh,
Yeah.
He never made it to his crib.
Yeah. Yeah.
till he was 20.
When he's 20, yeah. So
Till he was how old?
he was probably at least 3.
Oh, okay.
And they off and on would, when I was gone, would sleep with their mom. All
yeah.
of them would.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
When Paul's gone, my kids still sleep with me, my girls.
Oh, my daughter still sleeps. She's like, hey, Dad, now that you're home, I'm gonna make sure I sleep in my bed a lot. I'm like, yeah, really? Guess where she slept last night? We have a couch bed. You know the one you're talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah.
She pulls that little thing out.
She gets right on there.
Sleeps on there. I was like, come on, man. I thought you were going to sleep in your bed. Yeah, I'm going to when you get home tomorrow.
tomorrow.
So-
Okay.
She's a liar.
And you're gonna let her.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
of
you
course
can't
I
say
am.
no to her.
No,
your favorite.
it's really hard, guys. So, and she used to sleep with us all the time, and I loved it. But I'd have nightmares
Oh.
because like something happened to her. So there's been so many times. Wendy, my wife, would wake up, and I've got my daughter in her arm. My arm's going. She goes, "What are you doing?" I go, "I don't know." I don't know. And so,
But she's okay. That's all I care
so
about.
I put her down, and but that happened
Wow.
so much. I was like, "You can't sleep with us when I'm home. I have nightmares." I felt like something's happened to her or something. I don't know.
I think that has a lot to do with things you've seen in your life. I just have seen that pattern.
I wasn't like that with my boys.
Yeah, it's right.
That's your
It's
baby
your
girl.
daughter.
It's
Yeah.
my I
Yeah.
don't know. There's something about her that
Yeah, because I think because it's your job to protect her.
right.
I mean, your whole family, but especially your baby girl.
Of course.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's like, you're wired for that.
Yeah. Oh man, I dare anybody. Yeah, I will take joy. in
My husband has a
dismantling.
shirt that says, anything you do to my daughter, I do to you.
You should just wear a
That
shirt
is
that
a-
says like I'm Triple H.
Well, yeah. I mean, all you have to do
He has
is
a
look
shirt
at
that
him.
says
but-
No, he should though. Like I just feel like no one's look at their dad.
Well, it can attract the right kind of guy who's going to be nervous, right? Or it can attract the wrong kind of guy who doesn't care. Yeah.
He's
I don't know how I'm going to be with guys and my daughter. I don't. I
well,
can't promise you
clearly,
it's going to be
I
good.
feel bad for them.
just
Good.
Just saying.
Yeah, I hope they hear this and know that one day when they try to date my daughter, it's not going to be easy.
I feel
No.
like she might not appreciate this though.
Well, they said what? Usually you marry someone similar to your father and stuff like that. Well, so I'm not good enough. So good luck to anybody else trying to date my daughter. If she's dating someone like me, oh, you screwed that up.
Don't worry, she's 11. It's okay.
I know. I think about it all. I think about it all the time, though.
Remember
I'm
when
just
he
saying.
said if you get him mad enough, he might not.
Yeah,
he might
that's
start
right. We
swearing.
might hear an
Hey, you little
F-bomb.
mother.
We figured it out. That's how.
Yeah.
Yes. Unlock the key.
That would send me over the edge. I don't know. I talked about some little boy doing something like not anything bad, just being mean to her, and I have to go beat up his dad.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Let's slap him
him.
around.
You remember I told you one of my daughters was getting bullied? And that's exactly what Paul said. He's like, well, I have to go beat the shit out of her dad.
Yeah.
They
Yes.
make shirts now where they're like on Etsy or it says if your kid's mean, I hope you can fight, or if your kid's a bully, I hope you can fight.
Oh,
Just saying.
Sounds
to the
right to me.
parent.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the mom would wear it.
Yeah.
So it says if your kid's a bully, I hope you
Yeah.
can fight. No. I don't own it.
Actually, the maddest I've ever, and I'm quick tempered. So
Really?
I flash hot quick.
No.
Yeah. I'm also quick to calm down, I think.
Totally.
But yeah. I'm Irish.
I just looked
own
around
it.
the room and
It's-
no one's reacting. So
So my daughter was in middle school and she's playing soccer, and this girl comes over, checks her, and she hits the ground hard and hits the back of her head. And the dad is cheering on his daughter, and they have this moment. And I'm like, first and foremost, I want to make sure she's okay. So I go over to the sideline, I talk with her coach, I check on my baby girl, and she's fine. She wants to get back in the game. Didn't see stars, no signs of concussion or anything. Like, okay. And I said, hey, coach, that man over there, is he one of the coaches of the other team, or is he a dad? And they said, no, he's a dad. I was like, okay, thank you. So I now go back around on the sideline. Well, I'm going to try to not get mad on camera here.
I can feel it.
And I say, hey, just so you know, there's no checking in this league. Apparently there's no checking in soccer anyway, but I didn't actually know that. I was like, in this league,
It's just you don't do it when the ref's
middle
looking.
school.
Yeah.
Come on. And he fires up on me.
Oh.
And you don't know what you're talking about. And I'm like, whew. So I go to walk away. And I'm going to do it from this side, even though it was this side, because I'm going to knock the microphone out of my hand. And he grabs my arm
Shut up.
as I go to walk away. And I throw my arm and I said, take your fucking hands off me. And I get in his face, asshole. And I'm ready to beat the shit out of this guy, which I have I don't think I really would be able to. But his eyes went wide and he took a step back. And I was like, that's right, motherfucker. I knew it.
That
I
sounds
was
like
mad.
the appropriate words to
I
use in
was
that
mad.
situation.
Teaching your kid to hurt another child.
man.
But then also
come on.
touching you.
And then, yeah.
Yeah.
Whew.
Has he seen your slap?
No, but when I told Paul, because he wasn't there.
Of course. That's why it happened.
was
we're
mad.
never there when
When
something's
that
gonna
kind
go
of
down.
thing
Oh,
happens.
freak. There's been times I'm like,
Right? Drives you crazy.
every time. Well, it wouldn't have happened if we would have been there. That's the problem.
Yeah. Well, it happened.
And this is your oldest daughter?
This is my middle daughter.
So Triple H is, Triple H.
Oh, yeah.
He's definitely
in
not,
his prime.
He's definitely not doing anything. He's definitely not grabbing you by the arm either.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
yeah, it wouldn't happen. So just enjoy that moment that you got to cuss this
No, but
guy.
I'm still so mad about it. It just drives me
You
crazy.
probably scared the shit out of him.
That's what his eyes went wide and he stepped back. I was like, okay. But it could have gone the other way. You never know. He was such a jerk.
Yeah.
To grab my arm like that.
I've never really ran into that situation. I'd hope to one day.
Yeah, I know.
He's like, now that I'm home,
never had
I
it.
hope the situation arises.
Yeah, I mean, I'm ready. Like, hey, dude, you got to swing first because I don't trust you that you won't sue me. So swing.
Yeah, exactly.
And then I'm going to murder you.
Yes. When Paul and I were first dating, it's funny because I'm on the phone with my mom who has many stories about my dad, who's very hot tempered, as you might imagine. And for some reason, we're at a standoff at a stop sign. It's like a 4-way intersection. This guy's being a dick. And I'm on the phone with my mom, and Paul's like getting madder and madder and yelling and flipping this guy off like mad. You know, how you could like flip someone off, but he's like angry flipping him off. Like he means it. And then all of a sudden, he's out of the car, and I'm like, oh, Mom, gotta go. Things have escalated. And she's like, sweetheart, it's okay. I've been in these situations before. Just trying to be calm. I'm like,
You're like, no, he needs
what
backup.
madness is this? And I'm like, but Paul, you can't touch him. He's gonna like sue you
Yeah.
for everything. It was before we had kids. I mean, obviously we weren't even married yet, but just those moments where you guys are like all ready to go. You just need a reason.
Oh, I can tell you one maybe 5 years ago that happened. I had my kids, at least one or two, maybe a nephew with me, and we're going to the IHOP. But I pull out and this guy's just throwing my tail. I'm like, well, all right. I was like, hey, I see you in the mirror. Whoa,
right?
I'm not worried about it. He passes me. It was no passing thing. He just passes me on a short street. And then as I'm about to turn into where I'm going, he pulls in front of me and literally I pull that over and I was like, yes.
Oh,
and I get
it's
out of the car
time.
and you'll appreciate this. He goes, I ain't scared of you. I said, I bet you are, mother. And,
Right.
And I turn and he goes, Alan? And I go, huh? I was like, oh, crap. This guy knows me. So he wrestled for the other team in high school. that
You're
I
kidding.
wrestled for. And as soon as he said Alan, like he knew who I was.
Yeah, like who you really are.
Yeah. And I was like, you know what, man? We're done. My bad. But I can tell you this. When he knew who I was, his freaking eyeballs about popped out of his head.
You know that look.
Oh, yeah. He knew what was
yeah.
about to happen to him. I promise you that. But
He's
it
like,
was
oh, Alan.
it was, there was a moment there and they couldn't wait to tell their mom, like, Dad, you shouldn't even see what Dad was. He was gonna kill this guy. But yeah.
Wait,
I have
Your kids were with you?
well, I think two and a
kids.
nephew.
Oh, okay.
Two and a nephew.
Not all of them. So
Yeah, not all
yeah.
of them. They got
But
to
it
see
was the
that.
boys.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. What would you have done if your daughter was in the car? Think you would have been different?
lock the car. keep
No, I'd
driving.
be like,
Boys, protect your
watch your
sister."
sister. I'll be back in a second.
Big news, WWE and sports fans. The world's #1 sports fan festival, Fanatics Fest, is making its return to New York City. Fanatics is bringing you closer to the leagues, teams, superstars, and athletes you love across 4 action-packed days in July.
Meet your favorite WWE superstars, get your hands on exclusive merch, catch live podcasts, and interact with the biggest names in sports.
Then fans of the show can get a 10% discount by using Steph10 at checkout. That's STEPH, the number 1, the number 0 at checkout. Are you ready to hold WWE history in the palm of your hand? Topps is bringing you closer to the action than ever before with WWE Topps Now, highlighting the biggest matches and milestones from WWE shows and PLEs throughout the year. Topps Now is enhancing the fan experience by connecting collectors to the superstars and spectacles that ignite their passion. Featuring stunning event-exclusive photography, each card is made for the moment. And for some lucky collectors, that moment could become the pull of a lifetime. Along with serial numbered parallels, some Topps Now releases offer a chance at rare short prints, superstar autographs, and even pieces of the mat, gear, or other items used during the featured match. So which moments will you collect? With each card only available for a limited time, you won't want to wait to begin your Topps Now journey. Be sure to subscribe to the WWE Topps Now mailing list on Topps.com and follow Topps on all social media platforms so you never miss a single moment. So I was also, we were pulling up, we were in Bridgeport and we were going to this sneaker store. And my oldest daughter had just gotten her license. And there was a really tricky intersection. And I was driving and I was meeting her there. So for some reason, I had this like feeling something was going to happen, but I didn't know what it was. And I was just really on edge. And I drive into the sneaker store parking lot. I'm on the phone with her and I'm watching her in my rearview mirror because I can see her now at this intersection. And then I see her start to go, this guy swerve, cut her off, peel around. He chases her into the parking lot and he pulls his car on. This is a man. She's 16. She parks. He pulls this way, and I am out of the car, and I am coming. Have you ever been so mad you see white?
Oh.
I've been so mad I don't remember what I've done.
Yeah, like it's this weird other
my God,
time
red.
and space you're in, like
Yes.
heat and white light, and it's like the blood's just rushing in your ears. You don't hear or like
Tunnel
nothing.
vision.
It's
Yeah.
just tunnel vision on this guy, and I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but like even if I'm sacrificing myself, but he is not getting to my daughter. And my daughter said the greatest thing in the world. She said, as soon as she saw me coming, she knew she was okay.
Yes.
It's like, oh,
So
you know?
what ended up happening?
So
He's no longer
here,
with us.
Here I come, and I must have had quite a look on my face because once again, this guy who's kind of a scrawny little guy, truthfully, I think I stood somewhat of a chance unless he was on something, which he very well could have been. And he looked up at me and saw me coming, and his eyes went wide, and he stumbled back into his car and took off with his legs still
What
sticking
the
out of the
freak?
car. And I am chasing this car, cursing this kid. He was a man, cursing this man, and he peeled out of the parking lot, and that's my story.
I'm going to
Yeah.
call
I like
up.
that.
But he could have hit me with his car. I mean, he could have done a million different things, but I knew he wasn't getting to her.
Well, dude, there's something about moms that you guys can sense something about to happen. You guys, your intuition
Spidey
is
senses,
ridiculous. It's like that.
is like that.
I don't
No, it
have
is. Yeah.
it. I don't have that kind of. I'm like, they're fine. No,
Yeah, something's off.
moms have this thing about them. They can feel it coming.
Yeah.
So yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I don't see it. I would never see it. I am oblivious to pretty much anything. I just think everything's fine until it's blatant. And so, yeah.
I do feel like
It has to be obvious.
we're going to need the footage from that.
There
that
has
shoe
to
store.
be some security camera footage.
Look, is that
You just
Stephanie
go, like,
McMahon?
I
Oh,
should look like the
And
Hulk.
then after the guy peels out, then this woman pops out of one of the stores. Do you need any help? I'm like, not anymore. Not anymore.
Took care of
You
it.
could have called the cops. Like,
Yeah.
you need any help?
She
But
saw you
yeah,
turning
I
into
did.
the
It'd
Hulk.
be funny. You need any help? Oh, ma'am, I wasn't talking to you. Sir, are you okay?
exactly.
And this guy's 120 pounds of mustache.
Oh, my God.
And he's scared to death.
Oh, he looked kind of like a little bit like Eminem.
Oh.
A little bit.
No disrespect to Eminem.
No.
I'm about to say.
Oh my God, we should cut
she
that.
sees-
I don't mean to disrespect Eminem.
sees
Eminem's
old
very
Marshall.
cool.
and
Yes.
Just the hate starts with blonde-headed, skinny dude.
But yeah, he was like a smaller, tough, scrappy looking kind of guy,
And he drove away with like 1 foot out the door.
Well, that part he didn't look like Eminem. When I saw him,
No, I
I
just-
should just stop referencing.
No, this is.
I mean,
Well, now
I
we
got
have the
an
theme-
idea
right.
of what he looks like
Theme
at least.
song.
we're gonna get him
Yeah,
on the pod
that's
to
right.
talk about it.
I mean, that's
Yeah.
what I just need a description of what
Yeah,
he looked
but
like.
he was bald. No.
How does? Wait a minute. Now you've thrown everything. So he was a white, skinny guy. Is that what you're saying?
So no blonde hair.
He was not
No
blonde.
blonde hair. That thought that was the Eminem
giveaway,
reference.
no.
Wife beater?
It was white, like
White
sort
tank
of
top.
dirty white T-shirt
Okay, maybe that's what it was.
and
okay.
and jeans.
Okay.
And-
He just doesn't sound very intimidating at this point now that you've
Well,
described him as
he
that.
was to me.
I feel like maybe
And to
you
her.
won't do the thing where like you describe it to the people and they draw.
Oh yeah, no.
Right? I feel like we.
But because I couldn't really see him, truthfully.
Well, you know what? You probably forgot what he looks like. because
Honestly, it was just a threat.
for the best.
Like,
I don't like when you're that angry.
Yeah,
you
I've-
don't even know what you're saying. You're
Well,
just stuff's just coming out your mouth.
so I
you know?
actually said, and I was recapping the story to my children,
Hey, you
trying
pipsqueak.
trying to tell him, and I said, and I didn't even curse. And my niece who was there was like. She was like, "Oh, yeah."
She's
There was
so mad she forgot how to curse.
stream of consciousness of curses.
Oh yeah, I have no doubt.
I mean, you blew my mind when you said you saw white. Like you went past red.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
it went
white.
right.
It is a different.
Right. Haven't been there. I'm not trying to go there.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
a
you don't wanna
different
go there.
level.
Yeah,
It's red.
just hot though.
Yeah,
And you're mad. You start sweating.
Yeah.
It's 60 degrees, so it's about that time. It's not feels great outside.
right.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to be sweating.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that happens to women as we get older. Anyway.
I know.
Yeah,
I don't like going through that with you guys.
it's rough. It's a
And by
rough
that
patch.
I mean with my wife.
I knew what you meant.
Sucks. Like, what do you mean? I just don't touch me. I'm like,
Listen,
I just got in the bed.
you're home now.
I didn't even do anything.
Yeah, but you're thinking about it.
Well, yeah.
I
Yes.
feel like we need a series of you at home now,
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
yes, that's a reality
at
show.
home with AJ.
yeah. It'd be quite boring, honestly.
Oh,
Yeah.
sounds fun.
I'm not
It
I'm
does
not that
sound fun.
entertaining, to be honest with you.
You don't think?
We'd have to ham it up somehow. It's a lot of Wendy, washing the dishes or making some dinner and me slapping her on the butt every time I go by. Not that
It's not that entertaining.
entertaining. Yeah.
Her reaction might be. Does it change?
No. Just one of these. Will you stop? I don't know. It's just
Really?
Just
See, the thing
spankable.
is, though, my husband says, like, yeah, but if I didn't do it, you'd be mad,
And it's probably true.
right?
Probably true. Actually, I have seen that meme
Yeah.
where it's like, the husband's always slapping the wife. Like she's in the kitchen, she's doing laundry, she's doing whatever, and she gets annoyed every time. And then the one time he doesn't do it, she starts
Hey,
crying and she says he's gonna leave me.
Something's wrong. It's true.
Yeah.
I've dialed it
patterns.
back though. I will say that. I used to like pick her up and power bomb her on the couch and stuff like that. So
Or
See, I
Wendy.
feel like this is fun.
yeah,
This is entertaining.
It was when she was younger, I could do that. Now she could break a hip, or something. I don't know. So I don't power bomb her anymore. But I practiced a lot of wrestling moves on her, which was a bad idea. Yeah, there was.
Did she get hurt?
Oh, yes.
I mean, no
Yeah.
wonder she's not.
Yeah, she's
not
tough.
really a fan of it.
There was. Listen, speaking, the fold out couch beds.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know why, but I grabbed her in the pedigree, and I jumped on the couch.
Oh no.
To give her the pedigree.
Yeah,
Her face is
yeah.
going to hit the cushions, no
Right,
problem.
yeah.
Her face went through the
Through the-
where the cushions meet, right into the metal
Oh
part
my
of the
God.
bed.
Oh, that must have hurt so
Oh,
bad.
I
Break
heard
her
it.
nose?
Oh,
I just heard it.
Did she get
Forehead
herself?
hitting metal. No, she didn't. But I was like, oh, oops.
Oh, sorry, honey. Sorry, baby.
Yeah,
that
sorry
wasn't
about that.
supposed to happen.
I remember her sitting in like just the living room and the floor, doing something, and I go to give her a kick in the back, a wrestling kick.
This sounds like my brother.
It was a real one. I totally just punted her
pull
in the
it?
back, and she couldn't breathe. And
She couldn't breathe.
there was another instance where I knocked her like almost through the refrigerator. It's like, all right, I got to stop. I got to stop.
Shit down.
This is getting ridiculous. We're gonna have to go to the doctor if I keep on
Sorry,
doing this.
sweetheart. The
Yeah.
punt to the back. I can hear the sound. I know the sound it
It's
makes.
just, yeah, it's just like,
It's like a hollow.
it was bad. Where she didn't
she
cry
must
because
have
she
been-
couldn't breathe. Yeah,
It must have been so unexpected.
yeah.
just
She's just
be
sitting
sitting
there and being sweet and peaceful, and I just kick her in the back.
Just crocheting.
Yeah, whatever the most peaceful thing is, she was doing it.
Napping.
And yeah,
Oh, I did stitching. She's crocheting. I did
yeah,
the wrong
she's super
gesture.
old, I guess. Like she's an old soul crocheting.
This is in the future.
Well, that's now. She's 46.
She was doing the dishes. Like, she's not in her rocking chair.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, she's walking in with her cane. That's how
not
you see.
Grandma Wendy.
Well, look at her. She takes it to the extreme, right? Like, oh, this old lady. Good grief.
That's Steph in a nutshell
Oh,
right there.
no. That punting her in the back. God bless her.
I feel bad about that.
You should. And dropping her in the sofa. You're
that was a bad
perfectly
one.
safe, honey. Just tuck your head.
Oh, I didn't tell her anything. I just gave it to her. She had no choice. She was taking it.
This would be a great time to read that message from Wendy.
Yeah, like, should I read that again?
Just a reminder.
No, don't read it again. I feel bad.
You know what, though? Speaking of, that was not the only message that we have. So our team was able to capture some remarks that
Okay.
wanted to play for you.
All right.
A hell of a worker, a hell of a teammate, you know. Just an old ass video game brother, you know what I mean? But that reflects, I think, who he is as a person, the discipline that he has, being involved in professional wrestling, being on the road, but continuing to stay true to being a family man, being a father. And, you know, just happy that I was able to make some art with him when our time, you know, came a few years ago. It would have been cool to be able to run it back and do it again, you know, explore like new chapters of what we could do together, because they're just pun intended, a phenomenal chemistry there. So, Big Al, have fun, be safe, brother, and we'll see you down the road.
What I really respect about him is the kind of husband and the kind of father he is. AJ, if you're listening to this, man, I love you, buddy. I wish you the best, and thanks for the good times inside the ring and out.
I don't know anybody who has been a better positive influence in the locker room than you in my time here. So thank you so much for being you.
AJ is special to a lot of people, but for me, it's more than that. One of my best friends. Also, sometimes I feel him, he's like my brother. I miss him already.
Hi, my name is Anthony Cairo, and I've been a social media producer with WWE since 2016. If you're watching, brother, I just want to say thank you for everything you've done for us. Sorry that we've annoyed you with so many little requests over the years, and brother, I know whatever you do next is going to be special, and just thank you for everything and good luck to you.
Because of AJ Styles, I made my way into TNA, which helped me get my way into WWE, helped me find the New Day, helped me create that, and helped me have the career that I've had. So I want to say thank you, AJ. You are the man. So sad to see you go, but happy that we got the time with you that we did.
My favorite match ever to this day, 2005, Lockdown, first Lockdown, Steel Cage, you and me. My single greatest match I ever had because of you. God bless you, Wendy, your children. Have a great retirement. I love you to death. I always will.
AJ, what to say, buddy? I've been really weirdly, disproportionately emotional about the thought of you leaving. I don't know, it's doing something to me, man. You wouldn't want me to get emotional. Because it'll make you emotional. So we won't do that now. But I'll miss you.
I am thankful to have AJ as a WWE superstar, as a friend, and I'm gonna miss him a lot because AJ is just one of those guys that you want to have around. But now he gets time to have his time with his family, be with them. So I guess I'm thankful for that too.
I feel so happy for him that he's able to retire with his health. And AJ, I just want to say congratulations on such an incredible career. And from a personal standpoint, I want to say thank you because you've always been such a constant source of inspiration for me. I know we've had very similar career paths, but I hope you know that I've always looked up to you. For me, you are the benchmark for what it is to be a professional both inside and outside of the ring. I'm very grateful that I got the opportunity to share the last 10 years with you here in this company. I know we kind of dodged each other a lot on the indies. You were in TNA, I was in Japan. When you came to Japan, I went to NXT, so we missed each other for a long time. But I feel like getting to know you over the last 10 years on a personal level and in the ring, and just witnessing how great and phenomenal you really are. I want to say thank you for being AJ Styles.
That was tough. I've always wanted, these guys that, and even the girls in the locker room that see me that way. Like, I always wanted to be just, one of those guys where, the old saying is that people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. So I'm just glad that they see me that light. That's what you strive for in this business, for them to say that and be, that's what it is, man. That's what I'm going to miss the most is those guys and hanging out with them, spending time with them.
Brotherhood.
Yep. That's it. When you're alone, you got no one, like, it's nice to have those guys around that you can, everybody has problems, stuff they're going through, and be able to bounce them off them, knowing that you're not alone means everything. And, guys like Miz saying that stuff, like, it's all he's done. And as long as he's been there, man, it makes you feel like $1 million. Roman Reigns, him saying the Damian Priest, like, there's it, and then Finn, like, you never knew. Sometimes you never know how much it means to somebody.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that I never took a day off from trying to mean something to them. I always wanted to be there for those guys, and not just be another wrestler out there who thinks of himself, but thinks of them first, and what we could do together in that ring.
I think that's so perfectly said. I've never heard it said so eloquently. And it is really hard, right? Because this is your family too. Different family, right? Yep. Your road family, if you will. Sean was Paul's road wife, or Paul was his. I'm not sure, but that was always the joke, But I also I've had the privilege of bearing witness to it all, and watching you guys and the women, but specifically watching you guys and what you've been through and hearing the stories and having a slight appreciation for what it means to be in the ring together. And you are gone from your family so much. And who do you share those hard times with? Them. Mm-hmm. And they're going through the same thing.
Yep.
A lot of them. And that very, very special brotherhood that you might, I don't know if you'll be in touch with them on a regular basis the same way you would, right? If you were there day in and day out.
Right.
But when you do see each other, it's going to be like no time has passed.
Right. And it's when, Xavier got me first. He got me choked up a little bit because, I got him into TNA, and actually it was Wendy who said, "Hey, that Austin guy that you were working out with, you should see if he wants to, because we needed a guy," and he just kind of stepped up and was that guy, and so got him in the TNA, got him in, and eventually he's in WWE, and when I seen that of him coming up, like, I don't know, you guys know, like, I'm fine. I was AJ Styles all the way from the end of the match all the way till I got to the back. First person I hugged was Chris Park, Abyss, and then so on, and Punk, and a lot of the other guys. I hugged everybody in there, and it was great.
You're talking about in Saudi?
In Saudi.
Yeah.
And as soon as I walked around to leave, it freaking hit me. So then you see me power walking and a little bit of running to get to where they were stacking the bags, because I just made it my locker room. And I thought I shut the door. It didn't shut, apparently. So I just had my back to the door, and I'm just kind of trying not to look like the biggest baby in the world. And Shane Helms comes up and just kind of grabs me, and he says, he just said it was all right. You're good, man. You don't have to turn your back, and meant so much for him to come up and see me. And then Jolene, seamstress, she came up and she's hugging on me. And then, Xavier comes up and probably squeezed him the hardest because I've known him for so long and seen him do so well and so many different things.
And likewise.
So yeah, it's just, it was a special moment. Like I squeezed him hard. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Like he's my guy, man. So, it's cool. I squeezed a lot of people hard that night, but it's like you said, it's like we might not be able to talk to each other like we used to, but when we see each other, it's like no time has passed and like we still know each other. It'll still be the biggest hug,
Yeah.
I'll miss that. I really will. So let's hope I find a way to
Stay connected.
Yeah, stay connected.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. And I noticed it looked like you were going to put your gloves down, but then you didn't. And you put them back on. What does that mean?
I don't know. I don't know. I think
Because this is wrestling.
I know.
The door is always open is all I mean.
I know. Never say never, right? That's the saying. And I think everybody's allowed at least once come out of retirement.
For
kind of
sure.
match.
For
I'm
sure.
not saying that I'll do it anytime soon. I'm just saying that.
I mean,
what if my
has
son?
there been anybody who hasn't?
I don't know.
Has there? Pretty much everyone who's retired has actually come back.
At least once.
Yeah,
right?
at least once.
I thought that was how it worked here.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be.
Well, I mean, what if my son wrestles?
Yeah.
What the opportunity to tag with him once?
Right.
Oh.
And you never know. So there'll be a time where the gloves will never go back on, and it may be now, but we'll see.
Do your sons show any interest? Or your daughter?
My second oldest I'm working with him now. So he's in it. And then my daughter, I've caught her many a times watching it. And to the point where I was like, baby, please turn that off. I just came from work. So I think they all got a little bit of it. I think once my second oldest takes off, my oldest will probably end up going that way too. And then who knows if my daughter, my third son has nothing to do
and no
with
interest.
anything sports whatsoever. He doesn't care about it. But it wouldn't surprise me if my daughter got into it. She'd be like the Rey Mysterio of the women's.
Oh, yeah?
She's tiny. She is small, but we'll see.
Yeah. Who knows?
You never know. I never thought I would want my kids to wrestle.
Right?
But it's way different than it's ever been, and a lot better than it's ever been when it comes to professional wrestling. Like it's done right at this point. So I'd be happy if they wrestled.
Yeah.
What about you? You gonna let your daughters wrestle?
Absolutely.
Are they? I've seen them.
So
I've seen them in Gorilla.
They were. So my oldest has been in the ring with Natty and Charlotte, and she's trained a little bit.
Oh.
But when she was younger, like 8 to 10.
Oh, okay.
And my niece trained a little bit, but she had a knack for it, as you can imagine. But so I remember, because I used to go on the road with Paul, and I brought our kids with us. So she came. We were in Waco, Texas, and she was nearly 2, maybe not quite, because I don't remember how pregnant I was, but we're there, and it was DX against I don't know who, and she was on my shoulders, and it was boggling my mind that she started to get excited as Sean's coming over to make the hot tag because they were getting the heat on Uncle Sean, and then he's like, desperately trying to make the tag, and he makes the tag to Paul/Hunter, and she starts jumping up and down like on my shoulders. She's a baby. I'm like, oh shit, she gets it. She gets it. And she's like totally reacting, loving all the right moments, like really getting it. And he is so proud when he comes back from the ring and sees her on my shoulders. That even though we have discussed not ever having our kids when they were babies on television or in the public, he then takes her off my shoulders and parades her around the arena because he's so proud, right? And when he hands her back to me, her eyes were this big. And I was like, oh my goodness. You know the moment when they get bit by the bug?
Yep.
She got bit in that moment.
wasn't even 2.
And she wasn't even 2 years old. I mean, it was unbelievable. And so, yes, she's always had an interest in it, always. She's in school to get her doctorate of physical therapy, and she wants to work with kids, so she has a whole nother
That's
path.
what my son's going to.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
Yeah, he plays baseball in college. So
Does
that's
she
kinda
play softball? She's a catcher.
How tall is she?
She's
like,
5'11".
she's a tall girl.
Yeah.
She won't like my son.
There was some synergy there for a minute.
We're not doing well unless she wants a short king, you know? You know what I'm saying?
You never know.
We're not doing too well in the tall department.
Mine seemed to be skyrocketing.
Well, I mean, you and Hunter are tall people. Me and my wife are not. Like they're like, thanks, Dad. I'm like, I didn't know she was cute. I don't know what to tell you.
She was cute.
So yeah, we're not. Yeah, we got to marry tall women to break this mold. That's all I'm
Okay, so
saying.
see, then maybe that's the path.
Yeah, well, just like, hey man,
Are we setting up your
let her
children?
know you're a
right
short
now?
king, brother.
Yeah, there you go.
And by short, I guess that's average height, but still, when your daughter's 5'11",
Yeah.
I felt like your oldest daughter. I remember the first time I saw her, I was like, oh my God, she cloned her. She cloned Stephanie.
People do think she looks a lot like me.
Yeah,
does.
she really did.
Like the younger pictures of you, like as an 8-year-old model or whatever. Like, no, but really the face and same color hair.
Yeah.
But she looks the most like you, I think.
The oldest, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. Even
I'm
when
so
I saw
proud.
I saw her backstage and I was like, yep, there she is.
Just so proud of her. Like all of them. I just really am. I'm so proud. It's the greatest gift in the world.
They're the best entertainment I've ever had and the worst people you'll ever meet. All at the same time.
It's amazing. Because they're showing you they're human, right? And they're showing you all sides of themselves. And as their parents, that's why we're there to protect and guide them, right? And teach them. But you do see all their sides, you know?
There's been many times like, dude, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to murder you. Like, so, but then you're so proud of them. Like,
It's
as much as I love playing sports, I'd rather watch them play.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Oh, it's the greatest feeling in the world when I watch Aurora hit a home run.
Oh, it's the best.
It's the best feeling. It's the best
How
feeling
nervous?
in the
Like
world.
that. Do you think they have any idea how nervous we are when
No.
we step up to the plate? Oh, come on, man. Come on, dude.
Pacing, I can't sit.
Oh man, it's unreal. So.
Yeah, it's the greatest. And now you have the opportunity to be home and to watch those games and to be with your family. And you're always still a part of this bigger wrestling family that we're all a part of. And I'm just so grateful that I've had this opportunity to get to know you, but that I've had the opportunity to interact with you, you know, for all these years, even though we never had the chance to have a storyline together or anything. That would have been
you never
fun.
got to slap me.
Do you know why? Because it's what?
I was just going to say it's not too late. But
No, it is. It is.
Apparently it is.
It is.
For both of us.
He said maybe.
But what you talk about, what you bring to the ring is intensity, right?
Right.
And that I'm the same. You have to bring everything you have to make it feel right.
I agree. I totally agree. Like, no wasted movement.
Yeah.
Everything has to count. I know I'm not the biggest guy, but when we get in the ring, you're gonna think I'm right there with you. Like, I'm gonna be a heavyweight. You know, that's everything I do is with intent.
Yeah.
And I think, you know, as long as you have that, it doesn't matter what size you are.
Everything in life as well, or in the ring?
In the ring is definitely intent. Like life, some things you maybe not so balls to the wall, you know, to do. Could get you in trouble.
But with intention, you know.
With the right intentions.
Yes.
For sure. Oh, for sure. You know, and I think in life. I always said wrestling's a lot like life. It's experience.
It is.
And the more experience you have, the better you're going to be able to navigate through it. So, I mean,
What other lessons as we sort of wrap this up? Because, you know, I know you're going to have many moments, right? And hopefully we have the opportunity to capture a lot of those moments because it's your human journey, right? And where you came from to finding the love of your life so young.
Yeah.
To where she has to pay for your Burger King date.
Yep. Delicious.
Like, and you remember that. And your life that you built together, the trials and tribulations, like you said, little things that, you know, you haven't necessarily shared with us, but moments, I'm sure, where you're alone, maybe in an empty room and all you have is a mattress and making that up. But it's like those moments where what you have is what matters most. And then to have this incredible, remarkable, you know, what will no doubt Hall of Fame career, and to now retire and go be able to bring all of that back to your family and never losing sight of what mattered most all along. And I imagine as a human being, you're going to go back and forth. You're going to feel all different ways. You're going to feel like you did where you couldn't turn around, you know, and you just had to go for a minute and you didn't know where you were going, but you were going there fast, you know, and have that moment to freak out, you know, for a second. And then have your friends, your brothers hold you together.
Even when you think you're alone, you're really not. There's always, hopefully, as long as you always have someone that you can call on and talk to and be there for you. And I was just so blessed enough that I've got a couple of those guys.
Sounds like you have more than a couple.
Yeah, it really does. Like I said, I am blessed to have all those guys, and even the girls are just sweet as they can be. And you know what I get a thrill out of, and it's kind of funny, is that they call me Uncle Al. You know, so I'm not quite old enough to be a grandpa, but just an uncle. Or,
uncle,
you know,
I'm always sister, like a yeah.
That's a cool thing.
I think so too.
To me, you know, I don't know, just like I trust you, your family, dude.
Yeah.
You know, and
You mean more to me than
yeah.
Yeah.
And I will say this: Austin Theory calls me Dad. He's the only one. Hold on. At least I felt that same way.
Well, yeah. No, go ahead.
I felt that same. He's like, "Hey, Dad," and I go, "Mother freaker," you know. And then it was my fault because I said, "Austin, I'm old enough to be your father."
Oh,
my fault. So he called me that, and I thought, "Wait a second." And then he's so freaking funny. I was like, "Yeah, I'm all right with it." You know?
Yeah, because he doesn't mean anything.
No,
by it.
he's such a goofball.
So
It's
he
awesome.
told me how much I look like his mom, which I know he meant as the most extreme compliment that he could possibly give.
He was probably saying, "My mom is beautiful."
Yeah,
That's what he meant,
great.
right?
Yes.
Like very sweet. He
Yes.
meant everything good by it.
Clearly sat well.
Hey man, screw you.
I was like, that's a first.
We're at that point.
We are. I know.
They're like Roxanne Perez. She said we were talking about something. I said, "You know what, Roxanne? Me and your mom used to listen to this music, and it was true."
Yeah. And then there are generations that don't understand your movie references.
No.
Or your cultural references.
Okay.
Yes.
One question for everybody in this room.
Okay, here we go.
That's my girl Jackie over there. She knows what I'm talking about.
Okay, yes.
I wore a shirt in Saudi, and I thought, "Oh man, I'm about to get everybody with this shirt. They're gonna love this shirt." The shirt was Rad, the movie, right? And if you've never seen it, okay, but if you've seen it, holy cow, it is the coolest shirt ever.
Ever.
Do you know what I'm talking about, Rad?
I don't.
It was a
I know.
It was a BMX movie. Which
okay.
makes sense.
I
if you
watched
didn't remember.
BMX Bandits with Nicole Kidman in Australia. I'm telling you, I saw a movie called BMX Bandits.
Okay, well, listen, this is the first time we ever saw someone do a backflip on a bicycle.
Okay.
and it was crazy. In the 80s?
Yeah.
rad.
I don't know
Helltrack?
how I missed this movie. Like, I've seen
I don't know how you missed it
Youngblood.
either.
I've seen, like, all of the movies. But,
Yeah, I mean, it was
but I
crazy.
missed Rad.
You missed Rad. Do you,
I missed
get?
Rad.
For
Wait.
saying that.
what do you know what Rad is?
No. When she said people don't get your movie references, it was for me.
Yes.
Oh.
So
Yes,
this is
that was
kind
the
of,
gesture.
it feels a little bit nice
Yes.
that she didn't get this one.
Yeah, I didn't. But not because it wasn't my generation. I just didn't see it.
So I know we're trying to wrap
help
this
where
thing
I
up,
was
but I
born
got
or when I
here's
was
my
born.
question. I don't understand why guys, or maybe even the women, married guys like 15 years younger. I'm like, what are we going to talk about?
Well, right?
What are we going to talk? You want to talk about music? No, because you didn't listen to my
To
music.
the same music.
It'd be terrible.
Yeah, and the technology's different.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know how it works, but it works for some
I
people.
got it. Look, here, fix my. When I don't know what I'm doing, I'm like, son,
Give
I
it
don't.
to your kid.
Could you
Yeah.
show me what I'm supposed to do right here on Instagram? Because I don't know how to collaborate and stuff
Yeah,
like
what
that.
does that even
Oh,
mean?
okay. They know.
Yeah, well, at least does it for me.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, and I'm blessed.
Hey, there's
the
been
help of
times
your-
I'm like, I don't know if
your girls.
I look cool in this. Let me go ask my son. You
Oh,
know,
yeah.
Dad, can I
No.
wear this? I'm like, oh, Dad, that's cool. You can wear it. I'm like, all right.
I completely do that.
Well, we're like, this is great. She's like, thanks. The girls picked it out.
Yeah, dude, all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know I'm not that cool, so I need you guys to help me because I think this looks
Have you-
good.
Listen, you
Have you
made
ever had
them.
that? Like, what are you wearing? I'm like, oh, I'm taking this off.
Oh, yeah.
this is
Oh,
bad.
yeah.
I look bad.
Well, but they're more, they're girls, so it's more like it's the look on the face. I've seen you wear better things.
Oh, that's nice.
That's a sweet way of
Yeah.
saying it. Yeah.
I mean,
86, that outfit.
my 6-year-old, when I come home from shooting podcasts with full face makeup, is like, why does your face look like that? What does it normally look
pretty?
like? I'm gonna go wash my face. He likes the
Yeah.
the normal version.
That's
Just
a good thing.
brutally honest, you know.
That is a good thing.
I'm like, fine, won't tell Jackie.
What are your other key lessons you think that you've learned along the way thus far?
The older you get, the more you understand the world. There's stuff that you can't understand when you're younger, that you'll only understand when you're older and you get more experiences everywhere else. Just because they don't cuss in the Bible doesn't mean they can't be Christian people that cuss in the North, because, well, I learned pretty quickly wrestling in Philly that these guys are dropping everything and they don't mean anything by it. It's just words.
Right.
It's your intention behind the words that are the problem and how you use them. So that was a big thing for me to learn, but stuff is always changing. It's always changing. Your mind, if you're willing to open up and try to understand, and not have a complete open mind where you're like, all right, let me give that a shot. Stick to what you know, but like be open enough to see it from somebody else's perspective or their eyes, and just try to understand what they're going through. I think that helps me a lot. Not everybody's come up the way that I have, and I didn't come up the way they did either. It's all
That's
different.
right.
So if I just try to understand where they're coming from, it does help the conversation at least.
Yeah, because you never know what someone else is going through.
Oh,
you really don't.
They could put on a good, act in front of you, and they could be falling apart inside. It's very true. Everybody is struggling with something at some point in time, and so that's why you need to be nice and take the time to, just be kind to everybody. It isn't very hard, just
Right.
say thank you or whatever. It's like it's the smallest things that go so far. And
It really is. You're reminding me of a story that I just heard about. There was a woman in line to pay for, I think it was gas, and she didn't have quite enough. She was a couple bucks short, and she was really upset about it. And the guy behind her, said something, and she cussed at him and was really rude and stormed out of the store. And then he said, I'm going to pay for her gas. And the guy behind her goes, dude, why are you doing that? She was like not nice to you at all. And he said, because I was taught to always smile and to always be kind. And when they came out of the store, this woman came running up to them, apologized to the guy, cried her eyes out. She had lost her job. She was trying to make a payment on so she didn't lose electricity or whatever it was. And she couldn't afford the gas, and how grateful she was and how much better that man felt. because he said, see, and he looked at the other guy and he said, you never know what someone's going through. And he felt so good about that money,
That's why I don't believe in first impressions. I give them a second because you have no idea what they're going through that day.
That's so interesting.
Yep. I mean, they could be real jerks to you, but just give them a second chance because, again, it's been a long day. Maybe they've been up all night. Maybe the kid was sick. Maybe their kid's, who knows, in the hospital. Like, there's some things that can really wreck you, a really good person. So I get it. Just
another lesson I was taught is never judge anyone based on what other people tell you. Right?
Yep.
It's only your own experience with that person.
Yep.
And that's what I try to do.
Yeah, just because someone else does it, just because this woman doesn't mean all women are like that.
Right. And by the way, when she treated you like that, she could have been having a bad day.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he could be missing out on the woman of his life because he thinks all women are like that. Like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, there's someone out there, dude. Don't let her define
ruin
what
it
a
for
woman
you.
is.
Yeah.
Like, she's just mean.
We're not all bad. I mean,
not everybody.
But life is all about perspective.
I agree. That's all about experience. And you'll know more the older you get, the experience they have. You know how to talk to people and how the little things go the furthest in the conversations.
Yeah. I think time is the greatest gift you can give somebody outside of love. But just
sometimes time is love, right?
Yeah, it is.
Right? I mean, like you think
Just
about
listening.
that. Yes. I mean, we both love Jackie over there because she just listens all the time.
Yeah.
She's
Jackie's
got
great
so
for
much
so many reasons.
information between those two ears. Oh my gosh. She knows all about us.
She knows all of our problems.
Oh my gosh.
I know I've always encouraged the makeup team, but this is like for decades, to write a book.
Oh man.
And not just
I no longer
not just
support that.
wrestling, but they've worked in various different genres, a lot of those makeup artists, like the celebrity stories, the wrestling stories, the wherever the industry took them stories. Jack, you know what I'm talking about. That would be fascinating. Fascinating book.
Did Jackie do your makeup?
She did.
Did you tell her, you're like, hey, I'm dating Hunter. Don't say anything, Jackie.
No, because it wasn't Jackie at the time. It was Janet, who was best friends with China.
Oh.
Let's
So
unpack
it
that.
was a very interesting time.
That was kind of like what I did, right? Like, hey, I like you, Wendy. Oh, I'm going to bang your friend.
I thought you just kissed. It's only a kiss.
Dumb. Not the smartest thing I've ever done.
Wendy's a saint.
She is a saint.
She is a saint.
She really is.
I keep picturing that
The
punt
kick.
to the back.
I know,
Oh
that's-
my God.
That's all.
Especially because I've given those kicks and I know what they feel like to give and receive. And your poor little
I wish
wife,
she was
and
here.
she's tiny.
You'd be like, yeah, he made me so mad.
She is a tough cookie.
She really
Well,
is.
she was a cheerleader, right?
Yeah, she was
So,
a competition cheerleader.
Yeah, they have to
So,
be tough.
She was so good. She
Yeah.
was so good. Let me tell you how sweet she is. She was going to a college in Georgia they wanted her bad. They took her like a bunch of idiots. They took her to a party when she was visiting. They loved her because she was so amazing.
Right?
Took her to a party. They were smoking and drinking.
Like trying to impress her that way.
That was the wrong thing.
Yeah. That's
And
not who she was.
She came back and cried to her parents like she couldn't believe it. It broke her heart.
Oh, no.
So she never went. And I think by her sophomore and junior year, she would have been a national champion.
Wow.
But she was that good.
Wow.
She was tiny, could do it all.
Right.
So all I brag about is how, I'm a 2-time state champion. You could have been
National champion.
You never won state. You never won national. But she could have.
Yeah.
She was, but she's just that kind of person that just as innocent as she possibly could be. And then I tried to ruin it.
Take her innocence.
Still am trying to ruin it.
And now he's home.
And now Daddy's home.
Daddy's home.
Here we go. Jackie, you know what I'm talking about. We've had many talks, me and Jackie.
About
Hope
what?
Wendy doesn't
She
see
might
this.
be your lifeline.
What did you tell Jackie? Like,
Gotta watch the pod.
yeah. I was just telling her how much I love you and I suck, which is pretty true. Yeah.
Well, obviously you don't suck because it seems like every person who has a story about you has such respect and admiration and love for you. And that's just because of who you are and how you treat people and that you show up 100% yourself no matter what environment you're in, whether you're in the ring, whether you're backstage, whether you're at home. And you're just a remarkable man. Not everybody is such a true soul. And I'm just really, really grateful that I've had this opportunity to know you because I feel exactly the same way.
Well, thank you very much.
Thank you. All right.
Yeah.
You're like, thank
I
God.
appreciate you trying to make me cry twice. Freaking Finn got me, that jerk.